people who are not racist. So this is all a big issue. But however, in a society, if you only watch in the US, you know that Afro-American, they are not doing as good as white peers or even Latinos in the society. This is easy statistics. This is something you can have easy access to. So there are just compared to white people, and this is of course not in total numbers but in percent. So this means so and so many percent of graduates are black, and this is then so and so many percent of the overall society. So you can never compare total numbers. So you cannot say that 1,000 black students graduated from this college, and then 5,000 white students graduated, and this is pretty much 1/5, you would assume, but you always have to compare this to the overall population. So this is how you make this accurately. So those comparisons, you cannot compare total numbers. This leads to nowhere. No, it is always the percentage. You always have to some sort of readjust your numbers. You have to readjust your numbers to the total population so that you understand what this is all about. However, but this was only short sociology. This is what this is not part. A small excursion. However, but if you only see, then you see, this is very difficult to grasp if you're not a migrant or if you are not a black people. But if you see it, Gray's Anatomy, Dr. Weber, Dr. Burke, Dr. Bailey, and so on, they speak from your desire, because in a society, in American society, this is what I partially experienced in Austria, or not partially, but what I experienced in Austria, as well as, of course, people think that you're stupid, you're dumb. This is what they told us. That I talked about this, I think, enough for right now, and I hope that I don't have to talk about this anymore. Hopefully some have understood. However, but if you talk about this you in a society, there's always this notion that those foreigners, they don't accomplish anything, they are dumb, they are stupid, and so on. Of course, then there is this desire, what you have, to show them all. This is what you see among many black communities or Afro-American communities as well. Within the, you would say, North American society, partially. Again, I am not generalizing. I don't say everyone thinks that way, but there is a common held belief that black people, they're some sort of either genetically or racially inept to accomplish the same thing as white people. The same prejudice is being applied to a Middle Eastern man in Austria and Germany as well. So many in Austria and Germany think as well that Middle Eastern man, or that the Middle Eastern culture cannot contribute to the German culture, or is in a way inferior, or whatever. However, this is some sort of this reoccurring theme, so that as a foreigner, or what you have to some sort of endure as a foreigner, that you are not part of it, that you are out of it, and so on. And then you have this in Gray's Anatomy. You have Preston Burke. Dr. Weber. He's the chief. He's some sort of this calm man who is in control, and this is of course a desire that you can do it as well, that you can show it as well. Or in Preston Burke with this is perfectionism. So this is like a machine. You some sort of switch out all emotions. This speaks to you, and as well as another third theme, which is very common among migrants, is that you, despite the fact that you are not the leader, or that you are not in charge officially, but behind the scenes you pull the stripes, and so, or that you are the real doer, or that you are really the one who pulls the strings, and so on. This is of course a perception you have as a migrant, especially if you grew up as a migrant. This is part of your self-view, as well as the desire you want to or have in a society. You want to be this. You want to be, for example, in Grey's Anatomy, this Dr. Weber who is in control, who knows everything, who always seems to be calm, and so on. Then as well as you want to be this Dr. Burke, this perfectionist, this smart man who some sort of maybe was not the smartest, but he put in a lot of effort. This is again speaks to the migrant community, because you some sort of think that you always have to do more. And then of course the Miranda Bailey, that you actually are really in charge, and that without you everything would fall through, and so on. Of course this speaks all to desires, and of course this speaks that you in the migrant community as well, this is what we talked about, culturalism as well, so that you then create a counter culture in a society, because it helps you to survive. This is what you have with body positive as well. So this is actually white people, so mainly white women in a way have created this body positive counter culture, so that being obese or chubby is not bad anymore. It is, I mean, we talked about it. I will not go too much into detail, but that this is positive as well, and this is what you have with migrants as well. And they're right there. If you watch Grey's Anatomy, this speaks to you. I mean, this speaks to you. There's this white man who has accomplished something. Of course, especially with Dr. Weber, you have some this white girl, which everyone has. So this white blonde girl. This is of course a big issue we talked about as well. So that you want some sort of this wife, this Austrian wife, being attracted to her as well. I mean, this is of course a desire you have as well, especially, for example, if you want to think about Middle Eastern men. I mean, in Austria, as well as in Germany or in the German sphere, there's this common held belief that Middle Eastern men, that they're all aggressive, they're stupid, or that they are dumb, or that they have a bad body odor, and so on, and that therefore Austrian and German women would not be or cannot be enticed by Middle Eastern men and so on. But then you then again show them, no, this is not true. There, look, I have a woman who fell madly in love with me, and then I dumped her, and her world broke apart. Yeah, well, you somehow enjoy this, of course, and this, of course, some desire you have that you are not this considered this applicable foreigner, which apparently no one really wants to hang out with, and only those who really hang out with you, they do it for self-pity or egoistic reasons. This is of course something you partially perceive as well. I mean, this is what I have perceived in a way, partially. So especially with elections. I mean, some people, they just want your vote and they give a rat's ass about thereafter. However, but here again, you have this desire, and of course, then is another thing which we talked about in not so in detail in culturalism, because this is part of culturalism, despite the fact that it is about skin, but you have there are pretty much similarities between those between the migrant approach and black Afro-Americans. However, what one thing is, what you always have this assumption is that you always feel as a migrant that this is something, some sort of a theme or ground theme of your life that you think, well, if we would only get the chance, then we would accomplish. Well, if only we would get the opportunity, then we could do it, then we could accomplish it. Then this wouldn't be a big problem, and so on. So this is what you have here as well. So this is with Preston Burke and this perfectionism. So this means that if you only get the chance, you could accomplish everything. You could put in a lot of effort. You could put in a lot of time and resources, even though if you're not the best trumpet player or whatever, but with your dedication, because you are hungry for success, you could do it. You could successfully manage this. This is again swings with it that you some sort of become part of it, and so on. And then the third is what you see with Miranda Bailey. I mean, if you watch the first couple of scenes or the seasons, if you want, there one key moment is when she and when Miranda and Derek talk about their past and so on. However, and there it is revealed that Miranda was some sort of an outcast. She was not really liked. She was not really part of a group or something, especially a group of white or part of the white groups and so on. And this is again something which again speaks to migrants as well. I mean, that you are some sort of an outcast because those groups, either if they're Austrian, French, or Italian, or whatever, Spaniard, so you are always excluded, or you think that you're excluded. There is, of course, a cultural difference. This is what you can partially notice with Turkish für Anfänger in this TV show, which in a funny way tried to bring this together, these cultural differences. However, there it plays a crucial part as well. And there with Miranda, then you some sort of gain this desire that you are still here, you are part of it, but you are behind the scenes, and that you are some sort of everything comes together with you, but it is not very visible, so that you are in fact really part of it, but behind the scenes, and that you are very important, so that without you the group would fall apart. So this again brings you through the back door that some people have not quite understood how important you are, and they in the end realize it. Okay, this was for today. We will continue about this topic the next time. This was Adam Kirbas from Ordu in Turkey. We are in the pandemic, and I hope that you take care of yourselves. Bye.